The Saw movies are not just about blood. They're about choices, pain, and punishment. Each film shows people facing deadly traps built to test their past sins. In this video, we'll go through every Saw movie, one by one, and explain the dark story behind each twisted game. Two men wake up in a filthy bathroom. Adam and Dr. Lawrence Gordon, shackled at the ankles. A corpse lies between them, shot through the head. A tape tells them the rules.
Doctor,
Gordon must kill Adam before 6 o'clock. If he fails, his family dies. No way out. No one is coming. They unravel the clues. They realize this isn't random. Dr. Gordon once treated a terminal cancer patient. Adam was following him, hired to take photos. Jigsaw's pattern begins to emerge. He selects people who waste life, and he teaches them through torture. When the clock runs out, Gordon, in desperation, saws off his own foot. He crawls out, promising to return. Adam is left behind. That corpse? It stands up. It was a jigsaw all along. He slams the door and says the words that will define the series. The body count grows. So does the game. Detective Eric Matthews, angry, corrupt, and unraveling, finally tracks down Jigsaw, John Kramer. He finds him sitting calmly in a warehouse, dying of cancer, hooked up to machines, but still in control. But this isn't justice. It's a setup. Jigsaw doesn't resist arrest. He wants Eric to listen, because while they talk, Eric's teenage son, Daniel, is trapped inside a house, not alone. He's sealed in with a group of criminals, all with one thing in common. They've all been framed or brutalized by Eric himself. The house is a tomb. Poisoned gas seeps through the vents. Within 2 hours, everyone inside will die, unless they find antidotes hidden in gruesome traps. One must crawl through a pit of needles. Another is burned alive trying to retrieve an antidote from a furnace. One falls victim to a gun triggered by peeking through a keyhole. Inside, Amanda is among them, the survivor from the first film. But now, she's calm, detached, too calm. Outside, Eric loses patience. He beats John Kramer, demanding answers. But Kramer is always 5 steps ahead. He calmly explains his twisted philosophy that people don't appreciate life until they're on the brink of death. His traps, he insists, are tests, not murders. People can escape if they're willing to sacrifice. But Eric doesn't listen. He demands to know where the house is. Then, the final blow. The footage they've been watching? It's not live. It's pre-recorded. The house isn't across town. It's right here, inside the warehouse. Daniel was never in danger. He's safe, locked in a vault, breathing clean air. Eric had already lost the moment he refused to play by the rules. Then, the last twist. Amanda walks into view and reveals the truth. She's no longer a victim. She's Jigsaw's apprentice now. This time, Jigsaw's game moves from survival to suffering. Jeff, a broken man, is chosen. His young son was killed in a hit and run. The driver got a light sentence. Jeff never recovered. He became consumed with hate, bitterness, vengeance. Now he's tested, not physically, but emotionally. He wakes in an abandoned meatpacking plant. Jigsaw's voice tells him he will face the people responsible for his son's death, the judge, the witness, the driver. But he must choose. Let them suffer. Or forgive them, save them. Each test is cruel. The witness is chained in a freezer, water pouring over her body. The judge is strapped beneath a vat of rotting pig carcasses. The driver is shackled inside a rack that twists his limbs until they snap. Meanwhile, Dr. Lynn Denlin is abducted. She's told to keep John Kramer alive long enough for Jeff to finish his trial. But there's a catch. A collar of shotgun shells is locked around her neck, rigged to his heartbeat. If he dies, she dies. Amanda watches, but she's unraveling. Her faith in Jigsaw's methods is warped. Her traps have no escape, no lessons, just death. She sees people not as flawed, but disposable. The tension explodes. Amanda loses control. She shoots Lynn, but she didn't know. Lynn is Jeff's wife. Jeff appears, gun in hand. His world collapses. In a final act of rage, he shoots John Kramer in the chest. Too late, the truth is revealed. Killing Kramer stops his heart. Lynn's collar explodes. Her face is obliterated in front of Jeff. And Jigsaw? He smiles as he dies. His final words echo, "You just killed Lynn, the only person who could save your daughter. There's one last tape, one final game, one more trap waiting to be sprung." And the door slams shut again. Game over. John Kramer is dead, but his game plays on. Detective Rigg becomes the new subject. He's a cop who always tries to save people. Jigsaw sees this as a flaw. His obsession with rescue makes him blind. Each trap tests his ability to let go, to step back and allow people to face their own consequences. He fails again and again. Meanwhile, 2 FBI agents dig deeper. They find Jigsaw's autopsy and a cassette hidden in his stomach. The message? You think it's over just because I'm dead? No, it's never over. In the climax, Rigg bursts into a final room, setting off the trap he was warned not to interfere with. Detective Eric Matthews dies. So does Rigg. And Hoffman? He walks away untouched. A new apprentice is revealed. The legacy grows darker. The focus shifts to Hoffman, the cop no one suspected. But now, we see his rise. In flashbacks, we learn that Hoffman was the one who helped John stage many of the previous traps. He was brutal, cold, and efficient. But Jigsaw didn't just want killers. He wanted disciples. 5 new victims awaken in a series of linked traps. They're told to work together, but their greed and mistrust doom them. One by one, they die. The final 2 realize the truth too late. Every trap requires teamwork. The bloodshed could have been avoided. But in the Saw universe, realization always comes after pain. Meanwhile, Agent Strom grows suspicious of Hoffman. He survives a trap meant to kill him and begins unraveling the web of deception. But Hoffman is always 2 steps ahead. In the final scene, he traps Strom inside a glass box. Crushed to death, Hoffman replaces him. The machine keeps running. The franchise turns political and even colder. William Easton, a health insurance executive, is kidnapped. His crime? Denying claims that cost people their lives, including John Kramer himself. Now, William is forced to make decisions. Lives are in his hands, just like before. But now the consequences are bloody and real. Choose who dies. Choose who lives. One trap has him decide between a healthy young man and a mother with a family. Another forces him to save only 2 people out of 6. Each choice cuts deeper into his soul. Meanwhile, Hoffman's mask begins to slip. Jill Tuck, Jigsaw's ex-wife, receives a box from John before his death. Inside are 6 envelopes. One contains Hoffman's name. By the end, Hoffman is captured. Jill straps him into the iconic reverse bear trap. But he survives. Barely. Bloodied, furious, and ready to kill. The blood doesn't just spill, it explodes. This is where the lies collapse. Bobby Dagan, a self-made celebrity, wrote a best-selling book about surviving one of Jigsaw's traps. Talk shows, motivational speeches, admiration. He fed on trauma that wasn't his. But Jigsaw's legacy never forgets, and it never forgives. Dagan wakes up trapped inside a real game. His chest is chained, his teeth are pulled. His flesh is on the line now. This time, it's not about storytelling. It's survival. He's forced to rescue his team one by one, but each death is personal and slow. They trusted him. Now they die because of him. His final test? Save his wife, the one person who believed his story without doubt. But lies have weight, and in the final chamber, he fails. She's burned alive inside a brazen bull furnace, screaming as the steel glows red. Meanwhile, Mark Hoffman sheds whatever was left of his soul. No more rules, No more masks. He's not testing people. He's hunting them. He slices his way through the police. Then comes Jill Tuck, Jigsaw's ex-wife, the one person left guarding John's legacy. Hoffman uses the iconic reverse bear trap, but this time, it finally closes. Jill's jaw is torn apart. The scream is cut short. Her blood marks the end of an era, or so it seems, because someone else is watching. Dr. Lawrence Gordon, the man who crawled out of the first film, footless and forgotten, returns. Turns out, Jigsaw didn't let him die. He healed him, trained him, kept him hidden. And now, Gordon finishes the work. He ambushes Hoffman, drags him back to the grimy, rotting bathroom from the first movie. The same chains, the same cold tiles, the same silence. He throws away the saw. No escape, no mercy, just darkness. Jigsaw is dead, but death doesn't stop a message. Years after Kramer's body was buried, new corpses appear, mutilated, sliced, branded. The Jigsaw killer is gone, but his traps continue. 5 people wake up inside a barn. Chains pull them into spinning saws. Needles pierce their necks. Acid burns their skin. The games test their secrets. One man dragged his wife behind a car until she bled out. Another let an innocent die to save himself. A woman smothered her own baby. Confession is the only way out, and even that may not be enough. Detectives suspect Logan Nelson, a war veteran and forensic pathologist. The evidence piles up around him, but it's all a misdirect, a sleight of hand. Because the barn? It's not happening now. Those games took place a decade ago. And Logan? He's already Jigsaw. Years earlier, he was thrown into a trap by mistake. John Kramer realized the error and saved him, trained him, groomed him. And now, Logan returns with blood on his hands and no guilt in his eyes. He kills the real suspect, frames him perfectly, walks away untouched. A new Jigsaw is born. The city bleeds corruption, and the traps return. This isn't John Kramer's game, but the tools are familiar. The message is the same. Confession through pain, change through terror. Detective Zeke Banks walks a lonely path. His precinct is filled with liars and cowards. Nobody trusts him. He doesn't trust them. And when police officers start dying in twisted traps, tongues ripped out, fingers shredded, bodies turned to ash, the message is clear. Someone is purging the system. Zeke finds the connection. Every victim is a dirty cop. Each had blood on their hands. Each betrayed the badge. The killer is delivering brutal justice. One body at a time. The twist stabs deep. The killer is Zeke's new partner, William Schenk. His father was murdered by a crooked cop. No justice followed, no punishment. So he became one. Schenk builds his own philosophy, a twisted echo of Kramer's ideals. But he targets the corrupt only. He doesn't just want to punish, he wants to reset the system. The final test is cruel. Zeke must choose: save his father or capture Schenk. He fails. His father is rigged like a puppet, gunned down by a SWAT team in a staged trap. Schenk walks away. No remorse, no apology. Just another message left in blood. The spiral continues. The puppet dances again. This is one of the cruelest Saw stories ever told. And this time, it's deeply personal. Saw X takes place between the first and second films. John Kramer, also known as Jigsaw, is dying from cancer. Desperate for a cure, he travels to Mexico after hearing about an experimental treatment that promises hope. For the first time, he believes he might live, but it's all a lie. The clinic is fake, the doctors are actors, and the treatment is nothing more than a scam to steal money from desperate people like John. That was their biggest mistake. Fueled by betrayal and rage, John brings in his loyal apprentice, Amanda. Together, they capture everyone involved in the fake clinic. But this time, the traps are even more brutal. Because this isn't just about teaching lessons anymore. This is about revenge. One man must slice through his own leg bones to escape. Another is forced to remove brain tissue while still awake. Every trap matches the crime of the person caught in it. But even in all this horror, there are limits. A child accidentally gets involved, and John protects him. It's a rare moment that shows the twisted moral code Jigsaw still follows. He punishes the guilty, not the innocent. In the end, the scammers suffer. And those who thought John Kramer was just a dying man learn the hard way. Jigsaw is more than a killer. He's a legacy, and legacies don't die. If you enjoyed diving into Jigsaw's twisted games, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more horror content every week. Let me know in the comments which horror icon you want next.